Welcome to Be Truly Heard with me, coach and voice expert Anne Leatherland. If you're a woman in business looking to speak with authority, warmth and authenticity, this is the podcast for you. We'll explore valuable personal growth strategies alongside vocal skills, so you can overcome confidence barriers and communicate what's inside. Your voice matters. It's time to be truly heard. Hello and welcome to this episode of Be Truly Heard with me, Anne Leatherland. And today we're going to be discussing something that affects most women at some time or other in their life. It can be a time of uncertainty, confusion, and questioning your role and your future. And it's called midlife. So I'm delighted to have Kath Cheng here. Hello, Kath, who's going to speak to us about this. And she helps midlife women step into their purpose and rise with confidence. So that's a perfect thing for us here on Be Truly Heard. Welcome, Kath.
Hi, Anne. Thanks for having me here.
You're very welcome. So just to tell us a bit more about what you do and why you do it, really, Kath, that would be great.
Yeah, so I'm Kath and I mentor midlife women who are new to personal growth and they are ready to explore what's next in their next chapter, basically. So I help guide them and support them on this journey because over a decade ago, that was me. I've learned many lessons. I've had many insights, wisdom and experience of my own. And I want to help other women do the same. So this started out as a personal journey of my own, actually. That's what got me here.
That's interesting. That's very much what happened to me as well, from the point of view that I had a bit of a downtime. And I'd been a voice teacher for some years, mainly teaching singing, but just moving into spoken voice. And it was at that point that I realised that my confidence was really at an all-time low. And I took some personal growth coaching in order to help me with that and moved into that myself. Yeah. And in a way, I thought, you know, we women, we go through a lot in our lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes we get the thin end of the wedge and we need to be a bit kinder to ourselves and recognise that in these times where we're wondering what to do and how to move forward. So in doing that, I'm thinking midlife's an interesting one, isn't it, as an expression, as a term. So tell me a bit more about what you think about midlife and how you view it.
Well, first, when I entered this scenario sort of called midlife, I thought actually, you know, most of us come into midlife, we think of midlife as this heavy feeling, midlife crisis, okay? And, you know, slowing down, winding down. And I wasn't ready for that. I was ready for something more. And so I started off, I wanted to redefine midlife. And that's why I came up with midway. So although midlife and midway aren't that much different words-wise, but the feeling, the energy that gives, I think it's totally different. Do you not think?
Absolutely, because I've said to you before, I'm thinking, because I'm 62 now and all the rest of that, you know, past menopause, all of that. And yet it's not really to do with that, is it? Because I was thinking, well, midlife, not really for me. It's 2/3 life for me. But maybe it's a mindset. Maybe it's something different, a different way of looking at it. In that we can do an awful lot even at this time of life that I'm in now. I'm certainly not slowing down. I love what I'm doing. This can extend to people who are younger as well. So we're not just talking about people who are 50, 60 years old here. We're talking about any woman who's reached that sort of impasse, if you like, in her life where she's going, well, you know, I've done this, I've done that, what now?
That's right, what next, you know? And it's like, right, okay. But when we look at midlife, everyone thinks, oh, God, it's like downhill from here. But midway, yeah, exactly. You laugh. But there's still a lot of, you know, society has got that in the heads that that's what it is. But I see midlife as more of a, right, this is the next stage. What's the next chapter? And that's why I created Midway, just because just that shift in perspective changes a lot. And I found that. So I wanted to help other women do that, help them shift their perspective. And just having her Midway as my brand as well, I thought it could show that there is a path forward. There's more to unfold.
I think as well as that, Kath, if you say her midway, it's active.
Yeah,
It's
her because I'm
about
working with women as well. But yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
whereas midlife is just
Mm,
a static label, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Whereas if we
definitely.
say we're at our midway, well, we have
Hmm.
choices. We have things that we can look at in more detail. We can
Yeah,
be happy about that. And okay,
exactly.
we might feel confused or we might feel unsure, but having
Hmm.
those choices is the great thing.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But a lot of the thing is, I think when I entered, well, in this stage, I say probably about my 40s, I was stuck in that place for a while. And it was because I didn't know what to do. I was uncertain, like a lot of women, I was confused. But how I see it is that's how it's supposed to be. Let me explain. It's because midway, this moment is when we're discovering ourselves. I know it sounds woo woo when you say you're finding yourselves. I didn't like any of this speech before I started doing this. I'm not woo woo at all, but
No,
yeah, not at all. I'm more science based and proof. But it is about finding ourselves. A lot of the time, we are following a path that is not possibly not even ours. And when we carry on that path, and then we get to a stage and we think, wow, where are we now? We're in midlife. Who am I? Is this even me? And that's where a lot of us are at.
mm,
There's these questions we ask ourselves. But then I think it's a good time, it's an opening for us to then embrace that and discover the journey. But a lot of us, when we get to that stage, we're used to having the answers and we shrink back. And a lot of us end up staying there. I mean, I, for one, stayed there for too long. And that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, because now I know I want more women to know that there is more out there. Don't waste time. And that's what inspires me to do what I do.
that's brilliant. I mean, it's about making the most of now. And I think there's a lot of talk out there about hormonal changes and about perimenopause and menopause and people working in that area.
Hmm.
And I suppose your work might encompass women who are going through those changes as well, but
Hmm.
not necessarily something
It's
earlier on. And it can be something that's maybe come from suddenly having to make a career change or some other choice in their life.
Yeah, midlife happens usually when we're at a stage when something does shift in our life. It's usually either a change in relationship or change in the dynamics at home. You know, the kids are moving out, or something that triggers something else, like maybe a change of job or you've been made redundant. It's usually big changes like that. And it gives us that space, and suddenly we have time to think about where we're at. And we're
Mm.
not where we're expected to be.
No, and sometimes looking at where we're at can be a bit scary, can't it?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is why we need somebody to help us and mentor us through it. So I know
mhm,
that you do mentorship, don't you, as
yeah,
well, through this part
mhm,
of life for women.
yeah. Well, I just want to clarify that I'm not there to give them the answers. Whoever I help my
Mm,
clients, I'm not there to give them the answers. I'm there to just guide and support them, because I've been through all the twists and turns, the roadblocks, the naysayers, the family that is trying to probably think they're protecting us, but really their way of protecting us is keeping us where we are. And it's battling with all that. So I deal with a lot of that, helping, supporting them in that journey, because it's not just a straight road, but to embrace the whole journey. You are going to come across struggles and challenges. Embrace that. That's part of it. That's part of the experience. And I just see everything, don't see them as a negative, but there's a lesson to be learned in everything.
yes. So really, you have some things in common with me here in that I'm interested in personal growth alongside the voice work that I do,
Mm.
because I find very often women at this stage are finding it hard to speak out. They're finding it hard to get their ideas across. And that may be because they don't have clarity, or it may be that they've had experiences in the past that have put them off. But it's that journey, isn't it, that's the most important thing, rather than the final destination. Although we hope, both of us, that our clients are going to be clearer on what they want at the end, and they're going to get closer to their goals. So I suppose it's mainly about clarity with you. Obviously mine is about speaking out and being heard, but would that be right in saying?
I think a lot of that could be our beliefs, though. The environment we've been brought up, I've been brought up in an environment where we're supposed to just be quiet, get on with things, and not speak up, not stand out. And that's sort of, we go through life and we stay in that place where we're shrinking. And so when we are called out to suddenly, right, we have to actually show up, it's scary and we don't know how to. Yeah.
Yes. So I think both of us work on that. How do we give people that foundation of looking at themselves and saying, what I have is actually enough, and I have everything inside me that I need to stand up, speak out, get my ideas across, or make a decision about my life and move forward, and even change my career, or tackle the difficulties in my family in a different way.
I don't know about you, but for me, I used to think, or any of this, none of this was for me. It was for women who are confident, who are clear, and who know what they're doing. But that's not true. It's just because they have taken the steps. They don't just become confident. They just don't become clear. They take those steps and move forward, and that's how they become how they are. It's like me. I haven't become here just by suddenly popping into. You should have seen me when I was live, at the beginning. It's taking those steps, and I just say, just do it, and do it imperfectly. And the more you do it, that's how confidence comes, with practice.
Absolutely. And that's the same with my work too. There's no point embarking on a course of discovery if you expect yourself to already know it all and be able to do it all. You don't learn that way, do you?
No, that's right.
I think it's the worst for that, actually, because I've got a brain that will go, oh, yeah, I kind of knew that, really. And sometimes we have to be open to hearing it in a different way. And I say that most humbly because I have been guilty of that.
Yeah.
But when we actually do look, we find that that's not the case. And there's always a different way to look at something, and there's always something new to learn.
But we're all a work in progress as well. The journey doesn't end here. I'm still on my journey. My journey won't end until I'm past. It's how it is. But everyone thinks that it's the end goal. It's not the end goal at all. It's the journey that you're on that you should be.
And enjoying it as we go. And doing the best we can as we go. And I know that's not always easy, depending on life circumstances. So you must meet people in the course of your work who have real challenges in a number of areas. And so, again, you're mainly interested in helping them with personal growth, because, as you said, confidence grows by doing.
Yes.
We're not confident when we start.
No.
So we can either avoid, or we can just take a calculated risk. We prepare, and then we do.
Also, when you said about taking calculated risks, the biggest reward is always usually the biggest risks that we take, isn't it?
I have this visualization of getting to the end of the cliff and leaping over it.
Oh, right. No, not at all.
It's not that sort of risk.
No.
It's a risk that's
scary but exciting.
Scary but reasonable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So, we're on the same page. It's just the vision I have of it. Having said that, when I left teaching, I did just decide I've had enough of this. I'm going to take a leap, and I'm going to set up as a singing teacher and a voice teacher, and that's it. Because I can't take this anymore. I can't take this uneducational thing that they're making me do anymore. I haven't looked back.
I was going to say, have you looked back? Yeah, that's
No,
it.
I've never
No.
wanted to go back to
Hmm.
it, even though in terms of having a reliable salary, it would have been much easier. But
Yeah,
no, I'm much happier that I've done what I've done and that I've been working in an area that brings people joy and help and peace in what they do.
so much more fulfilling. Yeah, yeah. I think when we get to a stage as well, we in life we're doing what we're doing, and we start to look for that meaning. Why are we doing what we're doing? And when it has no meaning, especially me after bringing up the kids, that was my meaning. So everything else didn't matter. I was working fine, but at least I had meaning. I was rearing my kids, bringing them up. But then when they got to the age when they were independent and doing their own thing, yes, I was working, and I was like looking at my life. Is this it?
Looking back, I think I did that quite early on, actually, because my children were only 5 years old. I have twins, but they were only five at the time when I decided to leave school teaching
Oh,
and
that is
follow
quite young. Yeah.
that. So, but I did have another change later on, and I think that's it. We have ups and downs and various points. Maybe we
Yeah.
have more than one midlife. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh no, one's enough.
So you're doing workshops and things as well, aren't you, Kath?
Well, I do masterclasses and workshops, free workshops and that. I haven't got one at the moment, but I am working on my mentorship experience, which is the big program that I'm really excited about releasing and sharing with the women. But it's a 12-month mentorship experience, which I think it's for women who are serious about change and lifelong transformation. That's what I'm looking for. No quick fixes. And that's what I hope the people who I attract into the program will be those people who are after real transformation. So yeah, I'm excited about that, but I do have a wait list for that. So if anyone's interested, I will be sharing the link later.
Of course, we can get quick fixes. Then we've not done our job. It's not about them being reliant on us as a sort of Svengali.
Exactly.
We're there as a guide along the way, aren't we,
Yeah.
for what's going on?
Yeah.
Great. So do you have any tips for women who feel they may be in midlife, who have got this uncertainty and these questions and don't know what to do?
Well, I do actually. I was thinking, what's the best thing to share? I do actually have. It's something I created. It's called her Midway Activation Code. And
Mm-hmm.
it's to activate, bring back that sparkiness. Because most of us in midlife will get to a stage when we're like, just meh. There's nothing. It's like just bored. So her activation code is something I created just to bring back that spark. And it's how I started all this. So there's 4 points to it. The first one is to just get curious. Get curious about what lights you up. What did you enjoy doing, or what do you enjoy doing, and start doing more of it. It doesn't necessarily lead to what your new vocation or whatever it is you're trying to discover is, but when you're in that mode, that energy, you're in that creative mode, so it lights up other things. Yeah, so be curious. That's the first tip. And then the second one is to be decisive. And because a lot of time, when you said about the master classes, I did dabble in, dabble out, dipping my toe into all these different master classes. But I say just be decisive about what you want. Decide what you want to do and go for it. It's sort of telling the universe, this is what you want. And I think, again, it's the energy thing, isn't it? Yeah. When you feel it. So that just be decisive and you get clearer about what you want then the clarity comes. The third one is being courageous, because we shrink back in fear. And at this stage, we have so much fear. We fear of what people say about us, fear of failing, and just be courageous, because you can't move forward without fear. It's being courageous is having fear and doing it anyway.
I've read a book about that. If we, as you said, embrace those feelings, those challenges, and accept that, yes, I feel a bit scared about this, but it's absolutely normal to feel that way.
Exactly. Own it. Yeah.
It's just the adrenaline. It's the same adrenaline that will give me that energy to make that spark so that I can move forward with whatever it is.
Yeah. Definitely. I also like to gift your listeners, actually. It's called her Midway Activation Code.
Oh,
It's a 5-part mini audio series. And what it does is it goes through the codes of this, and just listening to it will light something up in you, hopefully.
I'll be listening to that myself, Kath. I'm sure,
Good. Oh, great.
But anyway, thank you so much for being my guest today. It's been really
I've
lovely
really
speaking.
enjoyed it.
And I hope you'll come back another time and we can talk some more about this. And that people will get back to us as well if they have any questions or anything they'd like to add to the conversation. So thank you so
100%.
much.
No, thank you, Anne, for having me. Thank you, everyone.
You're very welcome. So that's it, folks, until next time. And I'll see you then on Be Truly Heard. Thanks for listening to Be Truly Heard. If something landed with you today, share it with a friend or leave a review. It really helps more women to find their voice. Want to go deeper? Join my email list for exclusive tips, resources, and invitations to events. You'll find the link in the show notes. Until next time, remember, your voice is powerful. Let's make sure it's truly heard.